You're locked into the Grizzly Digital Network. It's time for Grizzlies Live. Now, let's go live to the voice of the Grizzlies, Matt Mahoney.
Welcome everybody to Grizzlies Live here at Newk Eatery. Glad to have everybody aboard as the return of Grizzlies Live here. We've had a 2-week hiatus for one reason or another, but we're back and we're joined by head softball coach Ihlenburg. Coach, how we doing?
Excellent. How are you today, Matt?
We're doing well, well. I mean, the weather's turning for us. You gotta, I know the forecast tomorrow doesn't look good, but we'll get to that in a minute. But gotta love the sunshine coming back.
Oh my gosh, it feels great. You just look forward to practice in a different way now because not only are you doing what you love every day, but you're out there in such beautiful conditions. It's awesome.
One of the things we're going to talk about today is we're going to play softball this afternoon.
Yes.
The game scheduled for tomorrow on Thursday. We're going to make it play this afternoon. We'll get to that in just a moment. One of the reasons is because of the forecast and rain. And this is a part of softball that not a lot of people see. And this is the infamous tarp pull. So this is us against Hiawassee right here. And we're getting ready for the first pitch of the game.
Yep.
Home plate umpire, exit stage left. Time to pull the tarp. You got no warning whatsoever to pull this off. And we practice this, do we not?
Absolutely. That's actually one of our first fall practices because there's nothing that irks me more than messing up a simple tarp pull.
Yeah.
You unroll the large tarp and you pull it on the field. That's all there is to it. So we had a game plan going into it. Coach I was going to take out the plate tarp because that's what will go first. So we wanted to make sure that stayed covered, and he's pretty meticulous when it comes to home plate and the mound. I don't know if you've really watched him in your observations of our games. He's very meticulous. So he wanted to make sure home plate didn't get ruined, so we still had that.
Doug Court jumps in there and helps out?
Doug was following like a good facilities director does and making sure he listened to John. And there's a very specific way we roll up all our tarps so that when we do the large run and the large tarp pull that it's seamless. And we don't rip any seams either.
And Alyssa Hath, coach, saved somebody's playing time there, grabbing 2 gloves that would end up underneath the tarp there.
Yeah, it was like we were going into a boxing match and they just threw down the gloves and they were ready to run with it. But we discussed it leading into the game. We knew how much rain was in that forecast for the first game. So players that weren't actually starting in the game had on turfs so that they could walk on the tarp, roll it out, not puncture any holes. Let's get that right too. And all the starters went along the line and grabbed a handle, and it was on your mark, get set, go as soon as that roll was off the tarp.
And so what's great is it goes on smooth, it goes on great, and something always goes wrong with the tarp. And that's why I told our crew, get on the tarp, pull, something bad always happens. But you guys knocked it out of the park, literally knocked the ball out of the park that day too versus Hiawassee in more ways than one. But just a great display there from your team and your girls. Take me back to that Hiawassee doubleheader. I mean, you had to have a sore neck the next day from watching the ball just fly past you all day long.
Well, I joke with the girls, if I get to score a lot of runs, my shoulders get sore the next day. So that day was one of those days I was happy to get sore. They really, they had zoned in from the Beaufort games. They were really focused, and they were just trying to, mount that attitude of, hey, we are a good team. And we lost some games the weekend before in Mobile that we were really just frustrated. We need to put some pieces together. So we saw that in those 2 doubleheaders that we played.
Absolutely. Then Hiawassee, tarp comes on, tarp comes off, couple of rain delays.
Yeah.
What are the rain delays like in your dugout? There's some games being played in there?
Absolutely. They make up songs, so the music quickly gets turned on in the dugout, and all of a sudden we're making up songs. They love Frozen, so instead of do you want to build a snowman, it's do you want to build a slip and slide.
Okay.
And, there's things like they're just silly, and they eat a lot too. So it's kind of concerning that they're eating PB&J and turkey sandwiches and Rice Krispie treats, and all of a sudden I'm like, don't turn into marshmallows, girls. We need to stay tough. We need to be ready to go.
So if you don't keep them occupied on the field, they go straight to the cooler and straight to the snack bar.
Yes, there's too much on the bench sometimes.
So that's the motivation to get the game changed from tomorrow to today, so they don't just eat all day long tomorrow.
Part of it, yeah.
But real quickly, kind of put me in the fact of where we're at this point in the season. We've documented a couple times here. We've already hit more home runs this year than we already all of last year. Power numbers are up, extra base hits are up. Is this a power hitting team? Is this how we're going to have to score runs down the stretch here?
It can be. We absolutely can be a power hitting team. And really, we're a very successful team when we get the first runner on in an inning and we move her around. And then it's like we become the pieces of spark and the flint that lights that little fire that we need. what we need is to really be consistent with that. And that's what happened yesterday. We had a great doubleheader. Really a lot of good things happened. We came from behind in 2 games, really showed character in both games. We were down 5-1 in the first game and beat them 7 or 8-5, I think 8-6.
Yeah.
And then the second game, we were down in 2 different innings by 1 run, came back, was ahead by 1 run. And just in the 7th, had a few miscues that, you know, it's part of the game, but you don't want to see it in that part of the game.
Right. So
you want to see it early in the game so you have time to recover. In the bottom of the 7th, you know, everything's on the line. You don't have time to recover.
Where is this team at? You come from behind victory yesterday, a potential come from behind victory that calls up short, but it sounded to me like it was a battle, toe-to-toe with Brian. You win one, but you lose the next. How do you come out of that game? Do you feel good? Do you feel bad? Or are we still learning how to win those games late?
We're learning how to win those games late. You know, last year there was a certain characteristic in some of the seniors, and we're trying to really spark that amongst different players right now. And we've got very impactful players who are on the field every day, and they need to decide when they're going to take ownership of it and say, this is how it's going to be done. And each day we have different players who step up. I mean, Alicia Fields came through with a big hit yesterday, and can she be consistent? And I think that's another word to say is consistent.
Right. 15-9, the Grizzlies now are on the season, and obviously it probably wasn't the best feeling in the world splitting Brian and coming on back into town, but the new coaches poll comes out in the NAI, and we're still receiving votes. We move up a couple of spots, inching closer and closer to the top 25. Where were you when you heard about it, and what was your reaction?
We were on the bus headed home, and you know, I try not to put too much into it going into games. I knew it would come out, and I really just wanted to focus on what we needed to accomplish that day, because each game does matter when it comes to the end of our season. We have no conference championship season-wise to play for to guarantee postseason, so we need to play within our season. Like, that's all that we get.
Yep.
And so we're still learning that as a team to be that much tougher and to be that much stronger going into our April-May push.
And I think it's probably something you keep an eye on, and maybe we'll educate the fans this afternoon, but now you look at the rest of those AII teams, because there's not a regular season meeting with them, we're 4th in the AII, and that's important for seeding going to that conference tournament. Do the girls know a whole lot about that, or does coach just kind of worry about that in her office, not at practice?
No, I worry about that in my office, because there's nothing that we can do other than win the games that we're playing to get into a higher ranking.
Correct.
So there's nothing I can do to say, girls, if you do this, this, and this will change. So, I talk about controllables. We can control our defense. We can control our at-bats. I can't control someone's opinion of our program.
Right.
And so I can't worry about that, and I have to make sure that we're prepared for the actual test, which is the conference tournament.
Which will be the last 2 days of April, 1st of May. We'll host it right here at the Grizzly Softball Complex. It is something we can control playing at home. We've really played well this year so far at home. And again, we'll see the Grizzlies at home this afternoon. This is a schedule change, so make a note of it right there on your screen. Grizzlies will take on Southern Wesleyan today. Doubleheader beginning at 4 o'clock. We'll have the pregame coverage for you right here at 3:45 on the Grizzly Digital Network. Coach, this is the pregame to the pregame interview.
Pregame to the pregame.
We'll talk to you later this afternoon.
Thanks, Matt.
That's our head softball coach, Kat Ihlenburg. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have head tennis coach Chase Hodges right here on the Grizzly Digital Network. It's time to gear up, Grizzly fans. Right now, you can find all the latest Grizzly gear to support your team by visiting the Georgia Gwinnett College official bookstore inside the Student Center. Or simply shop online anytime, anywhere by visiting ggc.bncollege.com. From hats and t-shirts to jackets and one-of-a-kind collectibles, you can find it all with the official GGC bookstore. Plus, on game day, be sure to swing by the merchandise table at the stadium. So pick up your favorite item today and show your Grizzly spirit. Go Grizzlies!
Hi Grizzly fans, this is Ned Colgrove, Assistant Athletics Director for External Operations. If you're looking to align your business with our Championship Athletics program, take a look at our excellent corporate sponsorship packages. From signage around our beautiful facility to in-game and digital placement, your tax-deductible support of our program will help offer a championship experience for every student athlete. Plus, connect your brand to our growing fan base. You can find out more by checking out the corporate sponsorship brochure on grizzlyathletics.com or calling me directly at 678-407-5241. Go Grizzlies!
Hello, I'm James Williams, Head Athletic Trainer for the Georgia Gwinnett Grizzlies. Thanks to our friends at Gwinnett Medical Center, your Grizzlies receive first-class, quality health care right here in Gwinnett County. With daily hands-on recovery and state-of-the-art training facilities, the Grizzlies spend more time on the field than they do on the bench. So get in the game, Grizzlies, with Gwinnett Medical Center in Duluth and in Lawrenceville.
Hi Grizzly fans, this is Ned Colgrove, Assistant Athletics Director for External Operations. Are you interested in helping offer a championship experience for every single one of our student athletes? Come join us in the Grizzly Club. You can call me directly at 678-407-5241 to learn more, or see our Grizzly Club information online at grizzlyathletics.com. There you can check out our member benefits like game tickets and insider events, plus make your online donation. We can't wait to have your support of our student athletes and welcome you to the Grizzly Club.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Grizzlies live in Newk City. We're joined now by head men's and women's tennis coach Chase Hodges. Coach, how we doing?
Doing great, can't complain.
I don't know about you, but I still haven't recovered from the high of what was yesterday afternoon. I had so much fun down at the GGC tennis facility.
I had a blast as well. Hopefully we can make that happen again. I know that all the followers that we had yesterday on the broadcast certainly enjoyed it. I thought you did a phenomenal job, your staff. You guys did incredible work.
I'll make a promise to all our viewers, we'll do that again, 100%, no
Definitely.
doubt. I don't know when, we'll figure it out, but we'll do it again. That was so much fun.
Can't wait.
Let's talk tennis first, and then we'll get to what happened production-wise.
Sure.
Took on Cumberland's 2 9-0 sweeps here.
Right.
We played pretty well here over the last 10 days or so.
Sure.
Definitely trending in the right direction. Identify the women here. How do you approach them after a 9-0 sweep like that? Do you kind of just pat them on the back and, hey, I'll see you tomorrow? Or what do you tell your team after a game like that?
You just look forward to the next one. We got Clayton State coming up. That was a rain out from earlier. We're playing them next week. So we're just really preparing for that match. We got a lot of tough tests ahead with Emory again. Yeah. West Florida, Valdosta State, Hawaii Pacific. Just each match, we don't really have any easy matches. So I think it was a big confidence boost for them to get a victory.
Yeah.
But now we're getting ready to face some really tough competition, and I think the ladies are going to be more than prepared. I know that when you look at our lineup 1-6, I feel that we got a legitimate shot to win all those points. So you always feel good about that as a coach. So I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Absolutely. On the men's side, trying to stay healthy. Matthias hasn't fed well the last couple of days, so he's been moved. Guys have stepped up and played well in his absence. For the guys, that loss stings. As much as they want to say they're going to turn it into a positive, it stung with them yesterday, and I could pick up on it.
Yeah.
Yesterday was maybe going through the motions a little bit, 9-0 sweep, but it's still a win. And they want to get back to 27 wins as quickly as possible. And the only way to do that is win the next 27 matches.
Right. I mean, if you look at, we won 32 or 33, so that's where, it's one of those where you have to, unfortunately, we live in a society, especially with our team, where you win 32 or 33, and the only one you talk about is the one you lost. But that's kind of the group of guys that I have. I mean, you kind of forget about the wins. So it's one of those situations where you have to put yourself in a position where, how do we get back to that point? And I know that it still stings. These wins are good confidence boost for the men. But at the end of the day, my hope is that 10 matches from now, it can start to get more in the past.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's talk about the broadcast and the production. The first part of it, right out of the gate, player introductions, everything's going smooth as well, and Jordan Cox just slips right in there with a shout out. That was probably the highlight for me. Did you have a highlight?
He gave the Matt Mahoney shout out, which was huge. Of course, he offered me cupcakes at the post game. He tends to do that a lot. We had Val's father there. It was his birthday.
It was awesome.
I think the entire broadcast for me was a highlight. I went back and watched the entire thing because I think you guys did a great job of really keeping the viewers connected to what was going on. You had a lot of guests. I thought Bruno did a good job with his insight. All in all, I think that it was something that we've never done, and you guys did a phenomenal job. I know that the parents and the families truly appreciated it. I think you said with the on-demand coverage, it was a good result.
As many live hits as we had yesterday in a big audience for sure. It doubled overnight. Probably has something to do with the time changes.
Sure.
And Locke said it was 3 a.m. in the morning or wherever his family was from in Australia. So overnight our numbers doubled with that broadcast. So that's a testament to you guys out there. We appreciate the following, and we do this because you guys want it. And so just you want more, we'll do more. So
I got several emails from people all across the world how much they appreciated it. So what GDN does and what you guys have done is certainly something that everybody appreciates. So
we appreciate it. So I know the players had talked about it. yesterday in the post game that they would appreciate a day off. You had time to sleep on it.
Sure.
We've got up today, one more day looking at the forecast. Are we practicing today, Coach?
Well, I'm a part-time meteorologist, and what I've seen is Thursday it's going to rain.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them Thursday off, and I'm going to hope that it rains. But even if it doesn't, they're going to get the day off.
Okay.
So Thursday they're going to have it off today. Beautiful day.
And I felt bad. I singled out Helga, if I'm not mistaken.
I did.
Only because she was standing there. I was like, she was. There was a couple of them. There was a couple of them that asked for the day off.
Right.
So I felt bad for Helga and her family back there. I didn't want to single out Helga.
Right. Well, I thought another highlight back to that was the amount of Clay shout-outs.
Oh man.
I mean, that was impressive. I think Clay had 3. Clay, I'm giving you a shout out right now.
So let's tell the backstory here. Clay did a phenomenal job yesterday.
Yes, he did.
Helping us with stats and information. His work goes in before we even go on air.
Right.
And so Clay helped me out a ton lining our player interviews up. I mean, at
Sure.
one point it was just one right after the other. And
Right.
that's Clay's credit. Well, what people don't see is Clay's literally standing right behind the camera, doing a big song and dance, trying to get a shout out, and the kids were just doing it. The players are just eating it up, so it's just one right after the other.
It was impressive, and Clay even put together a little video. It was impressive. So, I'm going to give Clay a shout out today.
Two here, two in a row. But one other thing, note, yesterday after we were all done, we kind of packed up. I was really hoping we'd get the new poll during the broadcast, but we actually got it afterwards. I find it ironic. We had Bruno on for about an hour, then it's Bruno's picture that shows up in the release from the NFL.
Yeah, we just can't get rid of this guy. I mean, the guy's everywhere. He's a legend. He's his picture is still on the, every time they do a release, I see his picture. Yeah, we secure that #1 ranking, which is what you want. So, we're men and women #1 in the country.
And I thought it was impressive, especially for the NAI coaches that may not, of course, not to see each other play, but all you're really doing is going by rankings and scores.
Sure.
I think it could have been easy for any coach to see the Grizzlies on the women's side with 4 losses and knock them down, but I think it was a testament to the coaches to know our schedule and the quality of the team that we are to keep us with every single one of the first place votes.
Right. I think they've seen our schedule. We played a very difficult schedule. I know that at times you start to question yourself when you do that, but at the end of the day, I think it's really prepared us, with that SCAD result, beating them 8-1 on the women's side. I know that schedule is one of the main reasons we were able to do that. So kind of like what I said yesterday, I think that, heading into the tournament, hopefully we can secure that 1 seed and hold on to it.
And again, if you want to see both men's and women's continue to be the #1 team in the country, you go back and watch yesterday's broadcast. A ton of fun. I'll probably hit it up again this weekend to watch it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Just click on the on-demand tab right there at the bottom of your screen, and you can go back and watch yesterday's broadcast. And so, Coach, we'll do it again, man. Thanks for stopping by today.
I appreciate it.
Head men's and women's tennis coach Chase Hodges here. We'll take a break, come back with head baseball coach Brad Stromdahl right here on Grizzly Digital Network.
Sean Gillespie, coordinator of student athlete enhancement for Grizzly Athletics. At Georgia Gwinnett College, we uphold the NAI's Champions of Character values of integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership. It's our mission to develop lifelong leaders of character through academic and athletic excellence, producing standout citizens for our community. We want our friends, family, and community to be proud to cheer on the Grizzlies every single day. Character-driven intercollegiate athletics are what we're all about. Go Grizzlies.
The Georgia Gwinnett Grizzlies compete in the heart of Gwinnett County in Metro Atlanta. The Grizzlies currently field 6 teams and compete at the state-of-the-art Grizzly Athletics Complex. Georgia Gwinnett College is transforming higher education and celebrating 10 years since its charter class in 2005. As you plan your next trip to see the Grizzlies, log on to grizzlyathletics.com and select the Visitor's Guide. From driving directions to local points of interest and a listing of our proud sponsors, log on to grizzlyathletics.com.
Do you have what it takes to compete for the Georgia Gwinnett Grizzlies? Hi, this is Dr. Ian Potter, Assistant Athletics Director for Compliance and Academic Services. If you are interested in becoming a Grizzly through character-driven intercollegiate athletics, visit grizzlyathletics.com and then look under the Student Athletes section. We offer opportunities to students both near and far to pursue academic and athletic excellence here at dynamic Georgia Gwinnett College. Find out more today about wearing the green and gray at grizzlyathletics.com. Go Grizzlies!
It's time to gear up, Grizzly fans. Right now, you can find all the latest Grizzly gear to support your team by visiting the Georgia Gwinnett College official bookstore inside the Student Center. Or simply shop online anytime, anywhere by visiting ggc.bncollege.com. From hats and t-shirts to jackets and one-of-a-kind collectibles, you can find it all with the official GGC bookstore. Plus, on game day, be sure to swing by the merchandise table at the stadium. So pick up your favorite item today and show your Grizzly spirit. Go Grizzlies! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Grizzlies Live at Newk Eatery. We're joined now by our head baseball coach, Brad Stromdahl. Coach, how we doing?
Good, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing well.
How's the new baby treating you?
She's great. We've missed the last 2 weeks of the show because of the birth of my wife and I's first child. Last week's softball scheduled a game, and so glad to be back here at Newk's for
It's good.
I missed you guys. 27 home games in a row. You guys leave for one day, and I'm ready for this weekend series.
Well, good. We're excited too. We're excited to be back home after a game on the road.
too many road trips. One is enough.
One's enough.
Let's talk about yesterday's game versus Middle Georgia. I mean, your team exploded for 22 hits against Rochester. Another 15 last night in 7 innings. I mean, is this team figuring it out offensively? They're hitting the ball pretty well right now.
Yeah, we're doing a good job. You know, we've kind of started to hit our stride a little bit offensively, just with the struggles, the strikeouts early in the season, not walking, swinging out of the zone. We've done a really good job of, taking advantage of some mistakes on other teams and really executing from our standpoint. So, pleased with where we're at, but, there's still a lot to get better at and work on.
Is this team, only comparing it to what I know from last year's team, last year's team was a great offensive team. They could run, they could hit, gap-to-gap power. This team seems to just be able to flat hit. Doesn't matter where they're at in the lineup and what count, they can put the bat on the ball. I know that sounds like the simplest thing ever.
Sure.
But when you can rely on that as your offense, I mean,
well,
it's one of the reasons we're
it's
whatever we are at 23 and 5.
There's a lot of similarities actually to last year's team, and I was looking at stats. We were looking at stats this weekend, and we're actually ahead in almost every category as we were last year, which is really kind of amazing to think about, especially with how much I hate where we're at right now in terms of just, there's so much more potential with us to be able to execute some things better. So, it's just, every year's different, but, this team is coming together in terms of their offensive philosophy and trying to figure that out. And, we have a few less walks, on the pitching side, which I think we're making those adjustments right now. I think that, we're going to be good down the stretch.
Is that the hard part for Coach? I mean, because human nature is for 18 and 19-year-olds to pat themselves on the back, to feel good about being number 5 in the coaches poll and 23 wins on the year, and Coach goes, I don't want to say they're failing, but you got to get better. You got to keep pushing. Is that the hard part for this group?
Our hard part is just getting to buy into everybody, and it's an unselfish philosophy. I think that if you asked half our team where we're ranked in the country, I don't think anybody would know. We don't talk about it. It's not a big deal. It is what it is. And, we're very fortunate to be where we're ranked, which is 5, I believe, right now. But the hardest part for us is just getting them to go in every day in and day out. And we talk about being 0-0. We don't have a record. This is our first game. Let's go out there and just play the game of baseball the way it's supposed to be played, as hard-nosed as possible. And, let's just execute every single little thing, which is, I think, is why we're starting to figure this out a little bit. We get a runner at second base with nobody out. We really do a good job of moving to third. We got a third runner to third, less than 2 outs. We score the guy. Nobody on. We're looking to bunt. We're looking to push. We're looking to, just put the ball in play. And so I think a lot of those things are starting to really come to the surface in terms of the team philosophy and everybody buying in, and batting average doesn't matter. The hardest part is just keeping them focused on that daily task.
Absolutely. We've seen some adjustments with the pitching staff. Ryan Mateer goes midweek yesterday, picks up the win. We saw Oglesby and Holcomb literally switch over the weekend. Is this more experience for more guys in different roles, or are we trying to hone things in down the
We got a couple guys dinged up from that standpoint. Sheldon's down a little bit. He's coming back. He's just little tweaks and dings and all that stuff. And Jeremy didn't pitch very well in the very beginning part of the year. So we had to make some changes with that, put him in the bullpen, and he's kind of figured some stuff out mechanically. So we're trying to slowly bring him back. Tyler hasn't thrown 100 pitches in 3 years. He had Tommy John, so we wanted to get him out there versus a team that we knew he could throw 100 pitches against and work it. And he did good. He did what he needed to do, especially to build up his strength to be one of our top 3 or 4 guys. Same thing with Jeremy. So we're at a point in time in the season where we can have a little bit of flexibility and shift guys around. So.
Sure. This weekend, another 4-game set. Going to be a hassle on the pitchers. We got to figure that part out. We're going to take on Ohio State University, Lima. Correct. So a 4-game set for you. How does that pitching? What does it look like the rotation going into the weekend? I
think we're going to go Roberts, Holcomb, Oglesby, and we'll probably give Davis Atkins a spot start in there. Or else Heath. I'm not sure what we're going to do with that 4th game, but Davis has proved that he can go. He did an unbelievable job versus Campbellsville. I think that we have to use him in that starting role a little bit more, and then kind of mid-relief him in the midweek game. So, probably all those guys will start at some point in time, at least those 3, and then we'll see where Davis, how much he pitches Friday and Saturday, determines kind of what we do on Sunday.
Well, Coach, we're looking forward to having the Grizzlies back at home after the long road trip from yesterday. So we'll have all that coverage for you right here on the Grizzly Digital Network. It's a 4-game set starting on Thursday, doubleheader scheduled for Friday, and a single on Saturday. And any adjustments or changes we'll have for you on GrizzlyAthletics.com. Coach, thanks for dropping by.
Thanks, Matt.
Any shout-outs?
No, we're good.
No, we're good. Okay,
no, we're good.
Fair enough.
Those are for the players.
I agree. I agree. So we'll take a break. We'll come back and put a nice little bow on this show. You're watching Grizzlies Live at Newk Eatery on the Grizzly Digital Network.
Hello, I'm James Williams, head athletic trainer for the Georgia Gwinnett Grizzlies. Thanks to our friends at Gwinnett Medical Center, your Grizzlies receive first-class, quality health care right here in Gwinnett County. With daily hands-on recovery and state-of-the-art training facilities, the Grizzlies spend more time on the field than they do on the bench. So get in the game, Grizzlies, with Gwinnett Medical Center in Duluth and in Lawrenceville.
Hi, I'm Sean Gillespie, coordinator of student athlete enhancement for Grizzly Athletics. At Georgia Gwinnett College, we uphold the NAIA's Champions of Character values of integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership. It's our mission to develop lifelong leaders of character through academic and athletic excellence, producing standout citizens for our community. We want our friends, family, and community to be proud to cheer on the Grizzlies every single day. Character-driven intercollegiate athletics are what we're all about. Go Grizzlies!
Hi Grizzly fans, this is Ned Colgrove, Assistant Athletics Director for External Operations. Are you interested in helping offer a championship experience for every single one of our student athletes? Come join us in the Grizzly Club. You can call me directly at 678-407-5241 to learn more, or see our Grizzly Club information online at grizzlyathletics.com. There you can check out our member benefits like game tickets and insider events, plus make your online donation. We can't wait to have your support of our student athletes and welcome you to the Grizzly Club.
Do you have what it takes to compete for the Georgia Gwinnett Grizzlies? Hi, this is Dr. Ian Potter, Assistant Athletics Director for Compliance and Academic Services. If you are interested in becoming a Grizzly through character-driven intercollegiate athletics, visit grizzlyathletics.com and then look under the Student Athletes section. We offer opportunities to students both near and far to pursue academic and athletic excellence here at dynamic Georgia Gwinnett College. Find out more today about wearing the green and gray at grizzlyathletics.com. Go Grizzlies!
It's time to gear up, Grizzly fans. Right now, you can find all the latest Grizzly gear to support your team by visiting the Georgia Gwinnett College official bookstore inside the Student Center. Or simply shop online anytime, anywhere by visiting ggc.bncollege.com. From hats and t-shirts to jackets and one-of-a-kind collectibles, you can find it all with the official GGC bookstore. Plus, on game day, be sure to swing by the merchandise table at the stadium. So pick up your favorite item today and show your Grizzly spirit. Go Grizzlies! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Grizzlies Live at Newk Eatery. Glad to be back here. Greg and Bill and the great staff here, they understood our 2-week hiatus here, almost made it 3, as softball has rescheduled their game for today, which was originally scheduled for tomorrow. We're going to play softball this afternoon, a doubleheader starting at 4 o'clock. We'll have the pregame coverage for you at 3:45 right here on the Grizzly Digital Network. Baseball will be in action this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday versus Ohio State Lima. We'll have you covered through that weekend series as well. Good chance of rain on Thursday, so there's a good chance for some adjustments to that baseball schedule. But as always, stay tuned to GrizzlyAthletics.com for the latest information. Our main man Clay's in the house. He's on the website. And our tweet of the week, we'll roll that up for you. Our good buddy there, Tom Grayson, does a great job capturing the photos of all the Grizzlies. Sent us a tweet last week of Ernesto Vasquez, who's played really well in spots as Marcus McCorkle has been on and off with injuries. Ernesto's played really well in his absence 2 weekends ago and has converted that into some serious playing time. So nice little shout out there to Ernesto Vasquez, flashing the leather. You can be our tweet of the week using any of the hashtags you see on your screen there. We've got a tremendous feedback from all the folks on Twitter with all of our broadcasts. They've also used the hashtag Grizzly Digital Network. Continue to use that. We'd love to hear your feedback, who you are, where you're listening from, and who you're watching as well. I promise we'll come back here every Wednesday now. No kids are on the way from my family, so Grizzlies Live at Newk's every Wednesday at 12 noon. Tune in for the rest of the semester. And I think they'll do it. Thumbs up. Marissa, Colin, we got to get going. We got to get the softball here in the next hour or so, get set up so we can catch some Grizzly softball. Thumbs up from Clay there. And so that'll do it for our entire cast and crew from Newk's Eatery. And I'm Matt Mahoney signing off saying so long, everybody. This is the Grizzly Digital Network.
We'd like to thank our corporate sponsors for making today's broadcast possible. You can watch archive broadcasts and feature stories in the On Demand tab of the Grizzly Digital Network. For the most recent information, log on to GrizzlyAthletics.com.